Hey there everyone, this is Glenn and I'm here to show you how to sharpen a pencil like an artist. Here I have an example of my basic Ticonderoga pencil sharpened like an artist. Over here I have some of my actual art pencils that I use every day, and they are sharpened just like this. The reason for sharpening something this way is because it gives you a longer viewpoint on your tip. Also, you don't have to sharpen your pencil as often, and you can really manipulate how the tip of your pencil starts to wear in over the course of the drawing. So one of the things that happens a lot of the times when you use just a simple hand sharpener is it blunts the ends pretty sharply, and then you run into this challenge where you're trying to keep detail up for a while, but you just can't, and you have to keep going back and sharpening over and over again. So for your at-home projects, here we have a non-sharpened pencil and the only tool you'll need, which is an X-Acto knife. Now, if you don't have an X-Acto knife, you can use a pocket knife, you can use a box cutter. All those things will work. It's just that X-Acto knives are one of the tools that artists often have, and they can be used in a lot of different ways, not only sharpening pencils, cutting paper, and just utilizing those in different tools. So it's something that is often here and is usable, but it's not to say it's the only thing that can be used. So now to start off, first, razors, super sharp, be careful. So keep your fingers behind the pencil, and then also, or I guess under the pencil and behind the blade. So it's under the pencil, but it's in front of the blade, under the pencil, behind the blade, just like this. So now I'm going to wrap my fingers around just to get a solid hold, and basically pushing with my thumb and wrapping with my fingers. Then once I get that done, if I need to have a more controlled grip, I'll take my thumb off and I'll pinch with my fingers just into my hand, and I'll use my thumb to push along. So we'll start with that first, and just start moving down. We want about an inch of the wood chopped off. And you can sort of, maybe, not really. The camera's a little close. I was gonna show you guys how much wood is around the pencil, but I mean, you all have pencils, so it's as big as most pencils are. So as we go down, what we're doing is we're creating these ridges, and each time I cut off one, it creates two more, and I just keep going around until I'm cutting all the way down to the lead itself. One thing I want to keep in mind as I do this is don't want to cut too deep too fast, because that will then leave this big chunk like I have with this one. See how this has this big chunk taken out of that section? It doesn't actually affect much, but visually not very appealing, so I don't like to do it. So as we're getting closer here, and you can start to see, sorry about that, as you can start to see the lead come out. Sometimes I like to brace it against my body, and that makes it so that the pencil doesn't move in space. So if I have it, here it is, it's braced against my body. Move everything back a little bit. As I push forward, I have something to brace against. Otherwise, if I'm out here and it gets stuck on something, it'll pull forward and make it a little bit harder. So now, also bracing against my body lets me have a little bit more control with my offhand, so my right hand in this case, and just lets me cut and smooth out easier. So now what I want to do is I want to just sort of chase this line back so that it becomes even This is more so just visually appealing, not something that is necessary. But being artists, having things visually appealing makes it really nice. So now that we're down to exposing the lead, one thing we want to make sure that we're doing is not thinning the entire piece of lead out so that it still stays the circular piece of lead that it is. So the way we do that is we start working around, and instead of working the entire thing, I'm going a little bit over the edge, and then I'll spin, keep rotating. I don't know if it covers it very well as I'm doing it, but each time I go down, I slightly rotate. And that will help to smooth it out overall and make sure that I can get the entire thing worn down. So one thing that can happen here, and it is sort of starting to happen here, is this part is getting carved a little bit more than the tip of the pencil. So we just move way up to the tip, and we're going to sort of re-establish a point, or I guess in this case, establish a point, and make sure that we don't have to worry about losing it as we progress forward. So now that I have this, it's slowly starting to form, and you can start to see it a little bit better. I don't know if everything's a little bit blurry. I'm sorry if it is. So now cutting through all these things, working around the tip, making sure that it starts to form that tip so that we don't have to lose basically that in the end process. So now that it's there and established, we can go back to thinning out the entire thing, because basically at this point, as long as you keep smoothing down the entire length of the exposed lead, you're going to keep relatively close to the same outside edge, profile shape, if you will, and that will, in the end, refine that tip and refine that point. So we're going a little bit further, a little bit faster. Almost done, almost to the end. And there we are. We're getting really close. So as it comes closer to the finished point, it becomes a lot more personal preference. You can see this has a little bit, let's see, there we go. A little bit of a wave to it. It's a little bit harder to see. That won't affect much, if any, of its usability, because you'll probably end up sharpening it by the time you get to that point anyway, or if you're going to use it at that length, you're using it for less detailed spots and less detailed pieces anyway. So I like to get a little bit further, a little bit more refined, and then make it so that that tip will be nice and detailed for a good amount of time. There we go. Make sure you don't blow the tip of your pencil with all the graphite on the table. It'll spread everywhere. I put a little piece of paper here to catch all that, because the last time I did this over a table, I smudged everything across the table, and it was really hard to clean. So that is how you sharpen a pencil like an artist, and how you get this decent sharp point. If you guys like this video, let me know. If you want to see something else, if I didn't explain something well enough, if you just want me to redo the video again, tell me, comment below. And if you have any other areas that you need help with, also let me know. And then subscribe so that you'll know when those videos come up. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.